Today we got to talk about Bitcoin. As you can see, Bitcoin has been crashing. We are literally down about 3% in the last 24 hours in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is now at 111.5K. Now, this thing I've been talking about how Bitcoin's going to pull back. I've been talking about the crash here. I don't believe it's going to be a complete bear market type of crash. This is just a pullback. This is a shakeout. This is what the whales do when things are getting too overpriced. They shake out the weak hands. They buy your coins at a lower price, right? So they're trying to shake you out. I mentioned this before the Jackson Hole meeting. Even though the Jackson Hole meeting was good and everyone loved it, I mentioned this way before the Jackson Hole meeting. And even the day of the Jackson Hole meeting, before it actually came out and before everything actually started pumping, I was like, hey, this might be a bull trap. And that's exactly what we're seeing now. This is a bull trap. We're going to pull back, and I'm going to explain to where we're going to pull back from. Also going to link the video I did previously in the description so you guys can see that video. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor, that is financial advice. But let's talk about this. So the Jackson Hole meeting caused a huge inflation inside of the price of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was dropping and dropping all the way down to 108, 112K. Jackson Hole meeting comes out, boom, Bitcoin 117K. So why did this happen like this, right? I mentioned time and time again that this was a bull trap, and a lot of people disagreed with that. Anyways, this right here is the Jackson Hole meeting area. It comes out, it was at a major support area and it broke out. Prior to this, I was like, hey, we need to pull back a little bit more. We haven't pulled back enough. This was a completely unwarranted pump. We did not need this pump yet. And there's several reasons why we did not need the pump. So let's come back over here to the weekly chart. So first of all, on the weekly chart, we see multiple things that's red flags to us, right? One of them is on the percent R trend exhaustion, shows that the trend on the upside is overexhausted. It's overbought. We had to pull back. Even though we had the Jackson Hole meeting, we still have to pull back. You can see here on the MACD, the MACD just came off of an overbought area, tried to come back down and tried to sell off, but then became overbought again and more money flowed. So what was going to happen? We were going to crash either way. Now pulling over here to the daily chart, you can see a little bit more better here. You can see that we were at a major support during the Jackson Hole meeting. 111K is major support for Bitcoin, right? And that's exactly where we're at now. We're at 111K. We're now selling off of an oversold area on our percent R trend exhaustion. Our MACD is now switching to the downside. We're now seeing that selling pressure coming into the MACD. We're seeing a lot of selling. And then, like I said, 111K was major support. And then not only that, if we can continue to pull back, I mentioned 99K is that support level I'm looking for. I'm looking to bounce off 99K. Now, are there levels before we hit 99K? Yes, and that's why I have all these minor support areas. So obviously we're at 111K. We're about to break that, okay? 108K comes next. Why does 108K come next? Because we've seen it as resistance before, so now we're going to use it as support. We've seen it as like a minor resistance area before, and we've used it a little bit as support as well. And we've also seen major resistance back here in December of last year using 108K as that major resistance. So 108K, very significant level for Bitcoin, very significant. And then we have 105K. 105K is right here at this Fibonacci retracement, 104/105K. Also major resistance and support for Bitcoin multiple times in the past. And you've also seen it back here as well when we pulled back in January of this year, right? We used that as resistance. So 104, 105K is also very significant. And then 99K is the last significant number. I've been saying this a lot. If we break 99K, no more bull market. But I do not believe we're going to break 99K. This is literally just the whales shaking out the weak hands. We might not even go all the way down in 99K. We might stop at 111 here. Actually, no, we're not stopping at 111. We're going down at 108. We're not stopping at 111. So we're probably going to end up hitting 108 soon. And if we break down below 108, then 105, and then 99K. But 108K might or might not get broken. Not 100% sure, but it is a support level we gotta watch for. So after we break 111K, watch out for 108K. That is going to be the next major level for Bitcoin. Keep that in mind. So we're watching out for these levels, and 99K is the lowest we're probably going to get before the next pump. But I'm really shooting for 104 to 108K, but we might reach 99. So pay attention to that. Now, like I said, with the MACD, we're selling off here. It's confirmed. We're going to go down below 111K. It's pretty much confirmed. Now, coming over here to the 4-hour chart, 4-hour chart is showing that we might have some support here on the way. Again, we'll probably see the strength of that support coming in when we hit this level here at 108K, possibly even 104, but we're probably going to see that strength coming in around 108K. We can already see it starting now with the %R trend exhaustion, showing that the trend is now, almost exhausted. And now we're all honestly about to see that support level here. The bottom area here shows the long-term growth for the %R trend exhaustion. And right now it's showing on the long term, we should be having a nice, recovery. So we should be waiting for that soon. And this was obvious back here. This was way too obvious. We were way too overbought. So we had to come back down. We had to pull back. And now that we've pulled back, now we're going to find our support. Like I said, 108K, 104K, or 99K. And then we will have parabolic move upwards. So Bitcoin is still super bullish. But in the short term, we're going to see this pullback. They're going to shake the weak hands out. Then we're going to have a massive pump. Again, the Jackson Hole meeting was a bull trap, and they've absolutely trapped a lot of them. And people bought in at 117K. Those same people that bought in at 117K are now looking at the drop that they just now suffered. So just to kind of show what they are suffering from, we have 5%. So they've lost 5%. If we go down to 108K, those people have lost 7%. If we go down to 104K, they lost 10. If we go down to 99K, they lost 15%. And this is why the whales do this. This is why they shake y'all out. Because if you might not think 15% is a lot because you only have like $1,000 in there, right? So you have $1,000 in Bitcoin at 117K. You're only getting 0.0085 Bitcoin, right? So you're not really worried because at 99K, your Bitcoin is only worth 846. So you went from 1,000 to 846. So you're like, yeah. But see, when the whales benefit off of stuff like that, let's say a whale is like, okay, I want to take a whole $1 billion and I want to buy into Bitcoin. Like a billionaire whale, he's like, you know what? I want to buy after everyone gets shaken out the market. So I'm buying at 99K. Well, now that the whale bought at 99K with $1 billion, they have 10,101.01 Bitcoin. If you multiply that just by 117K, that whale went from $1 billion to 1,181,818,181. So that whale literally made $181.8 million, $181.8 million just off of shaking you out of the market, off of a 15% gain. And you might think, hey, 15% is nothing. But 15% is something to a whale. Like they literally could retire off of that one 15% gain. They're already retired. But they could literally give away their $1 billion that they used to make this 181 million and still be good. So this is why they shake people out the market, and a lot of people just got shaken out. So now that we got the technicals out the way, let's go over some stuff here. Bitcoin flash crash triggers $550 million in Sunday liquidations as Ether rotation builds. So people are now rotating to ETH. We've actually seen that here in the market. We can see that ETH is up and Bitcoin is down. And you can actually see in the last 7 days, the charts look completely different. They're literally, look a little bit the same, but not that much the same. ETH is up in the last 7 days. Bitcoin's down in the last 7 days. So, Ethereum is, taking over. but obviously it's not going to pass Bitcoin. This is just because it's altcoin season. So yes, Bitcoin experienced a flash crash, dropping below 111K after a whale sold 24,000 Bitcoin, causing significant market liquidations. Ether has shown resilience, trading at 4,700. The rally in Ether is driven, and some people are targeting 10,000 in ETH. So yeah, that will happen soon. Part of the reason why we dropped, yeah, people are transferring. Bitcoin whale sells 24,000, so everyone's talking about it. Everyone has noticed it, triggering a flash crash. Still holds over $17 billion worth of Bitcoin. So, like I said, they're shaking the weak hands out. They're gonna hop right back in. They still have some, but you better bet they're gonna end up, throwing throwing $1 billion in at 99K or something, and then shooting the price right back up. And then this article here, it says Bitcoin slips to 112K amid continued whale migration to Ethereum. So it's kind of confirmed. People are trying to hop on that Ethereum wave. Bitcoin slips below 113K near a 6-week low despite Fed cut bet. And again, that is because they rug pulled everybody. Like they literally bull trapped you all. So it is what it is. They did not bull trap me though, because I seen this coming. But yeah, this is all I got for you all today. Hit the like button and subscribe, all that good stuff. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you guys want me to go over next. And as always, I'll be back with another video.